everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. Before we get started, be sure you subscribe to my channel down below. Just hit that big red subscribe button. It is completely free to subscribe and that way you won't miss out on any of the fun crafty content we have coming here on YouTube. Now this video has been in the works for a while. We moved, I meant to do this, and I completely forgot that I had this mat until the other day. The card mat that Cricut came out with. I completely forgot that I bought this card mat right before we moved, and I never got a chance to do anything with it. So we're gonna try it out today, get those first impressions. I haven't used it except to do this video. So we're gonna make a couple cards. I'm gonna show you how to set those up, and I'm gonna show you how to add multiple cards from Design Space to one canvas. That way you can cut multiple designs on one card mat. We're gonna make 3 cards, but I'll be honest with you, one of them is a fail. And it's partially my fault and partially Cricut's fault, so it's okay. Nobody's perfect, but these 2 cards are what we're gonna have that come out really well, and I'm gonna show you how to set them up so that if you don't wanna use like the foil, you don't have to, you can use a pen, and also how to kind of remove parts if you don't wanna use those in a card as well. So let's head over to Design Space, and I'm gonna show you how to do that.
Whatever we would do it just for fun.
We're going to be using the card mat, and I'm super excited because it's a really cool little mat and it makes it easy to make cards with your larger machines like your Explorers and your Makers. So I'm going to show you because when you do this, in order to make multiple designs of cards, you need to do a few little special things so that you can use their projects and just do it all at once. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go into projects, and you can either click categories, and you'll see that there are some that are just cards, and they also have the cutaway cards, or you can do just search for maybe like a holiday. But let's just look at cards, and we're going to go with that one. So the first card that I see that I really like is this fall card, and I think it's super cute. So I'm going to select this card because I would like to make it. Now, you can choose which size you're using. Not all the card boxes say which card size they are, so if you're not sure, just look up Cricut card size R whatever and see what size it lists, and it'll tell you the rest of the sizes. So I'm using the R20 4.25 by 5.5 cards, so that's the R20 size. So I'm just going to click Customize. I don't want to really do anything with it. I don't want to resize it. I don't want to change it in any way. I just need to make sure that I choose the correct size. Now, I don't want to be using foil on this because it's just not for me. So I'm going to change where it says fine foil, and I'm just going to draw that with a pen. You can do that with any type of design that you want to. If you don't want to use foil, you can use pens instead. Now, I don't want to make 4 of the same card, so what I need to do is open up a second window for Design Space, and once I open that, I can go back into the projects. So over in your second window for Design Space, go back into your projects, and again, we're going to look for cards, so we'll just kind of slim it down to our selections here. And then you can just scroll through and find whatever card you like. I think this popsicle one is really cute, so let's go ahead and select that one. And what I'm going to do is, again, make sure I choose the correct size, which is R20, and click Customize. Now from here, we can select the entire design, right-click on it, and click Copy. Go to your other Design Space window. So I'm just going to open up that other window, and all I'm going to do is right-click and click Paste. Now again, this has a foil design, and I honestly don't even really want it to draw those little lines. I don't think they're necessary. So what I'm going to do is use my little eyeball and hide it. I just want to cut out the popsicles. I think that'll be plenty cute. Doesn't need the lines. But I do want these to cut on the same card mat. So I'm going to change my popsicles to black. So this is really similar to when you would do vinyl. It doesn't matter what color you choose in your design here, like in Design Space. It only matters what color card we put on the mat. So I'm just going to choose that. And now what you'll see is if I click Make It right now, it's going to bring up my card mat, and you'll see that it's showing it just on one card mat instead of multiple. So when you decide what you want to make, just make it all the same color. It's a lot easier. Now I am going to change the color of the pen just so it's easier to see kind of what color we're using for everything. Now we can go back over to that other Design Space and open up a whole new project. So again, just go to Projects and Cards, and you can choose something else that you want to make. You don't have to make all the same card. It's great that you can really change it up and decide what kind of card you want to make. I think this little one with the leaf is pretty cute. So again, I just want to make sure I choose the correct size at R20, click customize, and again, I'm just going to select the whole design, copy it, and paste it over. You can do this for as many designs as you want to make, but it's super easy. You just right click and click copy, go to your other window, right click and click paste. And then again, I don't want to use foil on this, and I do like the little lines, so I'm going to change those over to a pen. And I'm just going to change the color of the pen. And for this one, let's do like a green. It won't really matter. Again, you can do whatever color you want. It just matters what pen you put into the machine. I'm going to change this to black as well, and I'll show you what it looks like now that we have 3 cards selected. You'll see that they're all going to do it on the same card mat, which is exactly what we want them to do. So let's get our card mat loaded. I'm going to show you how it works. This is a super fun way to do this, and it's really, really easy. The first thing that we need to do is to load our mat. So I've kind of laid them out. Now I was wrong on my size. These are R40s, so I did have to go back and change that, but you can actually measure them on your card mat if you're not sure what size they are. So the first thing I got to do is lay them out into the order that the card mat has them. So first thing, peel off your sticky, and then you want to take your card and open it up. Slide it between the matte sticky part and the matte backing, and then you're just kind of gonna wiggle it in. Now when you first start using this mat, it is pretty tight, so just be aware of that. You want to make sure this is pretty straight, and then you just push your top of your card down. So then this one goes down here, and I'm just gonna slide it in. Again, keep in mind this is pretty tight when you're doing this, and put it down. And last but not least is we'll do this pink one. So we're just gonna slide this in, maybe. Like I said, these are pretty tight, so just keep that in mind. So you might need to kind of lift it up a little. I like to just use my pin pen to lift it just so I don't get like dirt and oil from my hand. But sometimes you can loosen it up a little bit by using your pin pen just to get that paper under there. And once the paper's under there, it should slide right in. But it is a little bit tight when you first get started. So you want to get it lined up so it's all the way up to the top and all the way to the sides, and then just make sure they're well held down. We're going to go ahead, and it helps also if you remove the backing. I forgot that. I wondered why that didn't stick. So make sure you remove that little cover sheet as well. I can tell you how many times I've done that. Once you have everything loaded onto your mat and ready to go, you're going to need to load your pen. Now we have 2 pens for this. I'm going to use a silver one and a black, so we'll start with silver. All you do is open clamp A, open up your pen, and you put your finger under clamp A, put your pen down, and press until it clicks. You'll hear that audible click. Close your clamp, and then you want to load your card mat. And all you're going to do is just load it like you would any other mat. Nothing about that changes. It's going to first write, and then it will cut. Now that it's finished drawing with our silver pen, it's going to want to draw with our black. So we're going to remove silver, make sure to put the cap back on, and we're going to input our black pen. You're going to do the same thing, open clamp A, push until it clicks, close, and I always put my lid on the end of my pen so that I don't lose it. Go ahead and hit that go button, and it's going to write on our next card. We are finished cutting, and let's talk about Cricut, and I'm deciding that it would be a good idea to change the size of my card. You'll see it down at the bottom. Let me take the pen out and unload this so that you can see. I chose the correct size card, and it showed the correct sized card on the mat, but for some reason it cut a different size, which I'm assuming is the R30 card. I don't know, but it's definitely not the right size. So you can see that like it wrote on my mat and like it cut really weird. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna take this one off, because like this one I don't care if it like rips and stuff. I just want this off of my mat because like look at that, it's the wrong size, and I have to say this mat is incredibly sticky. So I'm just gonna kind of pull this off, and because it cut weird, getting it off the mat's hard because it's got spots that cut like along the edge. But like this one's awful. I'm very sad that this one didn't work. And I picked the right size, so it was definitely Cricut. So be sure that you're kind of watching. I let it go just because obviously I was cutting other stuff, but you'll want to watch it when it's cutting out your designs. Now I'm gonna get my little red scraper out and just get the rest of this like junk off of here so that it's not on my card mat. The other thing that I'm not loving already with this card mat is like this little edge. What the heck? That's annoying. You gotta get all your like paper pieces off of this, and it just sort of gets stuck in that lip. This may not have been like their best like mat design. I have to be honest, I didn't watch any videos on this at all. I've had this since before we moved, but because we were moving I never made a video on it. So I finally got around to it, and this is that video. So that's why my mat's brand new, and that's why I don't like that. That's a little bit annoying. But okay, let's get over to the cards that did cut correctly, because they were the right size. So like I said, this mat's super sticky. So you're gonna wanna be gentle when removing your card from it. And I don't know, let's try flipping it and just seeing if that like works okay. Let me see, let me try here. Let's see, how do I have to flip this way? That doesn't really, that doesn't, it kind of works, but not really. It's really hard to get this off because this is brand new and super sticky. So we're gonna try not to rip it. I'm gonna try really hard to be gentle and get this card off. I think that one's fully released. So there's one. That's pretty. I'll get all these off later because obviously that's a pain. And then we're gonna go ahead and try to get the popsicles off next. So I'm just gonna gently kind of peel these away from the mat. I think I'm still getting a little curling, but I don't think it's bad, so it'll be okay. Yeah, it's fine. That's not too bad. And then we'll go ahead and peel. Now, one thing I will tell you is that because this mat is so much thicker, make sure you move your star wheels. I did not, and now I have like a little fold in my card, but that's okay. It's fine. We'll work with it. So let's grab our little inserts. I gotta get the right ones. That one and that one. Okay. So I did this kind of tan one with this pink, just because I thought it would look nice against like the silver and the pink. And it's kind of fall, and it's like just like natural colors, very earth tones. So all I'm doing is kind of folding my paper and then sliding it into these little insert parts. That's really cute. That came out super cute. And then we're gonna do this fun popsicle one. This one was giving me like all the cute summer popsicle-y vibes. But like I said, make sure you move your star wheels because now it's like sticky right there and it's got a big crease. I didn't think about how thick that mat was gonna be compared to others. So again, I'm gonna do the same thing where I'm just gonna take my paper and kind of curl it up and then put it through these little spots here. And we're just gonna kind of, you gotta sometimes zhuzh it through a little. And you gotta move it around a little bit just to get it to lay flat. Oh, that's super cute. So these two that worked came out great, but I would really keep an eye on your Cricut and make sure that it's gonna cut out the right sizes. So here are the two cards that we were able to get finished correctly, and I think they came out really, really cute. And this was super easy. I do like the card mat. I think it does have a few little pitfalls that we need to keep in mind, especially when it comes to how thick it is and moving those wheels off. Can you see that line that it kind of creased into this card? Because the white star wheels were in the way. Now again, remember if it says foil, you don't have to use foil. You can use a pen. And I think it came out really pretty with that silver pen. Really, really nice looking card, real simple to do. And then just remember, you just need to use copy and paste from another window to add multiple card designs to your mat. Now, I will say it was my fault that that one did not come out correctly. I realized later that I should have shifted the card to the upper corner on the mat versus leaving it where it was. So I think it would have come out correctly had I fixed my problem. Now, remember me telling you that these don't always say what size they are as far as the R is concerned. So this one doesn't have an R sizing on it. So this one you'd want to look up the size that you want to use and just search Google Cricut R. But this one is a newer one and it says it's the R40. So you can see that this one does have a sizing on it that's a little bit different than some of the older ones. These are older cards that I got for quite a while ago. These ones I got right when the cutaway cards came out. And again, you can see doesn't really give us an R on here. I'll go ahead and... But you can just Google it and it's totally fine. No big deal because it doesn't say really on the back either. I did look. I didn't see anything. So just Google it. But I think that the card mat is really cool, especially if you are somebody who likes to make cards. I think this is a great way that you're going to be able to make multiple cards pretty quickly or just one card with your bigger machines really simply. Very, very easy without having to do all those hacks that we used to have to do. If you have any questions, let me know in those comments down below. I am always happy to answer those for you. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. That way you don't miss out on any of the crafty content we have coming. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And as always, happy crafting.